Hey, welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. Hey, I'm Scott. If you're new to our channel, normally my wife Cheryl and I rate and review golf courses from resorts around the world for couples who love to travel and play golf like we do. However, today I'm continuing our series on golf courses in Scotland that my brother, my son, and I played on a family pilgrimage to the country of our ancestors. Today we're in Carnoustie, affectionately known as Carnoustie, and we will rate and review the golf course and answer the question, is Carnoustie the toughest golf course in Scotland? So stay tuned. Welcome back. The 5 categories we rate each golf course on are its layout and playability for all levels of players. Secondly, the aesthetics or the beauty of the golf course. The third category is course conditions. Our fourth category in the Scotland series is the history of the golf course. Number 5 is value or bang for your buck that you get for what you're paying for. All right, for category 1, the course layout, we're going to give Carnoustie 4 stars. And for playability for all levels of players, we're going to give it 1.5 stars. Golf has been recorded as being played over the grounds that are now Carnoustie since the 16th century. The course was originally designed by old Tom Morris in 1842, and then he redesigned it to 18 holes in 1867, and then later it was redesigned by James Bray in 1926. Carnoustie has hosted the Open Championship 8 times, the Senior Open Championship 3 times, and the Women's Open Championship twice. It hosts annually a couple of the rounds of the Alfred Dunhill Cup along with the Old Course in Kingsbarns. And Carnoustie has 4 sets of tees ranging from about 5,600 yards all the way over 7,000 yards to about 7,300 for the Open. It's relatively flat compared to other Seaside Links courses. It has 2 burns, the Berry and the Jockey's burns that runs through it. And it probably has more trees than other Seaside Links courses that you'd see. Because it's flatter than most of the Seaside Links courses in Scotland, the wind really plays havoc and makes it much more difficult because it blows right off of that sea. And it's kind of a wind tunnel right there. It's not the typical out and back of most Seaside Links courses where you go out for 9 holes and then come back to the clubhouse. This Carnoustie, you get holes running in all directions. So you're not always either playing into the wind or always downwind, or then here you're going to get winds from all directions, crosswinds, into, down. Carnoustie has much narrower fairways than the old course and most of the other courses we played while we were in Scotland, which adds to its difficulty, especially with the tall grass rough and lots of really deep bunkers and very strategically placed bunkers. The second category, aesthetics or the wow factor, we're going to give Carnoustie 3 stars. Of the 11 courses we played in Scotland, Carnoustie would probably rank 6th or 7th for me. If you ask my brother and my son, it might be different for them. That's just because it rated as high for me because of the history of the course and being an open rota course. I even like the layout and aesthetics of the Jubilee course in St. Andrews more than I like this one. It felt like a cross between a Seaside Links course and the beginnings of a Parkland course. When you get over along the fence line there, you get lots of trees, and it didn't feel like, I don't know, some of the others that we played. You've got some views of the North Sea, but there's no holes that run alongside of it. One of the other courses there at Carnoustie does, but this one doesn't. There's only really a couple of large dunes on the first couple of holes that you get in other places like Cruden Bay or Royal Aberdeen or Royal Dornoch. There is a bit of gorse on the golf course, and that adds to its beauty, especially if it's in bloom. You get that yellow bloom all over the place. And lots of little mounds and hillocks throughout the course, which you're not getting too many even lies, which again adds to the difficulty of the course. And as I said before, the bunkering is really terrific on this, and it's some of the most penal bunkers that we played, and they're extremely strategically placed on this course, so they really come into play a lot. And if you get in them, you might as well just add a stroke to your score. They're that deep and that penal. Some of our favorite holes at Carnoustie, starting with number 2, called Gully. It's a long par 4, dogleg right, where avoiding the fairway bunkers is a must, pretty much like on every hole at Carnoustie. There's 4 of them on this hole in the landing area. There's a big dune right of the hole and tall rough on both sides. And then it's about a 60-yard long green with OB fence long, so you've got to be really precise on your club selection coming into the green. Hole number 3, Jockey's Burn. It's a medium-length par 4 with 2 deep pot bunkers in the middle of the fairway. Then the burn runs right in front of the green, so having a good lie in the fairway is a must off the tee to avoid hitting it into the burn on the approach. Number 5, Bray. It's a short dogleg par 4 with a ditch running across the fairway at about 280 yards off the tee. I laid up with a 3-wood and probably hit the 3-wood of my life. I just smoked it, and I just thought I was going to be in the burn, but I was just short of it. The green's 2-tiered, and it's really long and can be up to a couple clubs difference between the front and the back of the green, especially if the pin's up top. There's a big pot bunker short and left and a large bunker left to protect the green on it. It's a really cool hole, short hole. I love the short par 4s. Hole number 6, named Hogan's Alley. It's a 500-yard plus par 5 where you've got an OB fence running the whole length of the left side of the hole, and then you got 4 bunkers in the right center to right edge that will catch your tee shot that are really deep. This is an incredibly hard tee shot that you got to either, especially if it's into the wind, because you've either got to take on the OB left and go left of the bunkers, or you've got to lay up short or carry the bunkers, which is no small task. And then your second shot, you got to weave between the out of bounds left, and there's a burn that cuts into the fairway on the right. The green's really big and surrounded by 6 bunkers, gorse, and mounds, so it's not an easy hole. It's on the back far corner of the golf course. Hole 8, called Short. This is a 160-yard par 3. I think it's one of the coolest par 3s we played in Scotland. It's got an elevated green, which brings the wind more into play. It's got 4 bunkers surrounding it, an OB on the left, and it's usually played in a crosswind. And if it's from left to right, you won't feel it or see it because of the tree line on the left over there. Then moving on to number 10, called South America. I put one in the burn on this one. It's a long par 4 with 4 fairway bunkers right and left. And then your second shot's a long second shot, and it must carry the burn. It's about berry burn that runs about 40 yards short of the green and then along the right side of it. And the green's protected by 2 bunkers left, 1 right, and then you've got the burn over there and a big tree. Well, I hit that tree and down into the burn it went. The smart play, especially if it's into the winds, just lay up short, pitch it on, take your bogey, and go to the next hole. And they'll make a big number like I did. The hole 14 is called Spectacles. It's got short dog leg left, par 5. It is reachable in 2. It's got 3 fairway bunkers left and 1 right in your landing area. And then it's got gorse bushes also in your landing area on the left. Your second shot's got to carry a pushed up spectacle bunkers about 60 yards short of the green. So it gives it a false sense of how the depth perception there. So if you can carry the 2 bunkers, then the ball will bound up to the green. But there's 2 deep bunkers on either side of the front of this large double green. So really, for a short par 5, it's pretty difficult. Then hole 15, called Lucky Slap. It's a long par 4 dog leg left. Most people, especially locals, consider this the hardest par 4 on the course. That's a toss-up. There's a bunch of hard par 4s on this golf course. It's got deep rough on both sides of the fairway. It's got 2 bunkers right in the landing area. If it's into the wind, you lay up on your second shot. There's 2 bunkers right of the green, about 25 yards short of the green, that will catch your approach shot. And then 2 other bunkers frame the entrance to the green, which you can see my son Caleb found. Par is like making another birdie on this hole. You can say that about a bunch of holes at Carnoustie. And then 16, Berry Burn. This is a long par 3. It was 245 plus, and we played it into the wind. So don't be short, as the majority of the trouble is short of the green. You'd rather be long, including there's 5 deep bunkers short of the green. You make a 3 here, you've accomplished something. Put a patch on your letter jacket, get you a medal, whatever. This is a beast of a par 3. 18, home, the Vandeveld hole. And I even made a joke about it. Well, I'm going to have a really good score if I don't Vandeveld 18. And of course, I put it in the burn on 18. It's a long par 4. If you find a tougher finishing hole in golf, in fact, the tougher finishing 3 holes is these 3, I'd be shocked. They got out of bounds the whole left side, and then you've got really tall grass between the fairway and the out of bounds with mounds on the left, with gorse bushes on the left. You got a burn that winds through the entire hole a couple of times, and it's in play on both sides of the drive, and then again in front of the green on your second shot. And the green is also protected by bunkers on either side of it. If you make less than a 6, have yourself a pint in the clubhouse. All right, third category, course conditions. We're going to give Carnoustie 4.5 stars. The greens, fairways, tee boxes were all in really good shape, as you can see in our pictures and our videos. And again, we played in the first week of April, which is considered the shoulder season over there. So again, we were pleasantly surprised at each one of these stops at how well maintained the golf courses were. Again, it's not going to be bright green, deep greens like you see here in the States. You're going to have different shades of green and browns, but the courses were in immaculate shape, and Carnoustie was no different. This was our second round of the day after we played the old course at St. Andrews in the morning, and if you can find a better day in golf, I don't know what it is. So the fourth category that we're using in the Scotland series is history of the golf course. And for Carnoustie, we're giving it 4.5 stars. Golf is, like I said before, has been recorded as being played on these grounds since the 16th century, although the course itself wasn't designed until 1842 by old Tom Morris, which he redesigned it again to make it 18 holes in 1867. And then James Braid redesigned it in 1926. It's hosted the Open Championship, the Senior Open Championship, and the Women's Open Championship as well. It's also one of the rounds of the Alfred Dunhill Cup, along with the Old Course and Kingsbarns. Open champions here at Carnoustie include a who's who of the Hall of Fame, including Tommy Armour, Henry Cotton, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Tom Watson, Paul Laurie, who won in that playoff with Vandeveld, Padraig Harrington, and last champion was Francisco Molinari. Senior Open champions, Bernhard Langer, Paul Broadhurst, and KJ Choi have won on this course. In the Women's Open, you had Anna Nordquist and Yanni Singh were the champions. So it's got quite a bit of history on it, which is one of the reasons why I would have rated it my 6th or 7th favorite that we played. Again, the aesthetics weren't the same as some of the others, but the history of it made you want to play it. Category 5, value or bang for your buck. We're going to give Carnoustie 2 stars for this. In April, first week of April when we played it, it cost us right at $290 US, which is even less than some we pay in Cabo or some that we played in the Dominican, even some we played here in the United States. So, it's relative. Did we get a 5-star experience? Oh, absolutely. Did I enjoy Carnoustie as much as some of the others we played? Probably not. And would I pay it again to play it? If we went back to Scotland, if we traveled around the country, would I play it again? I might, but I wouldn't go out of the way to play it again just because I played it once. It wasn't my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. If you play it in the summertime, you're going to pay somewhere around $360 US to play it. $370. So it's a pretty expensive golf course. But if you're wanting to play an open road course with this kind of history, then Carnoustie's for you. Okay, let's recap and give Carnoustie an overall score. For me, I'd give it 3.5 stars. Carnoustie has a rich history, and it was cool to play an open road course. For us, that was 2 in one day. And we did enjoy our day at Carnoustie. The people were great in the clubhouse and the pro shop. And lunch was really good there as well, by the way. To answer the question we posed at the beginning, is it the hardest course in Scotland? Well, of the 11 we played, it's an easy yes. Those 3 finishing holes are brutal, and they're tough as it gets. In fact, the whole back nine's a beast. And at Carnoustie, you have to hit it in the fairway. You cannot get in those fairway bunkers. Your score is going to balloon up, and avoid the burns that crisscross through a bunch of the holes there. Now, it did lack the aesthetic beauty of some of the other seaside links that we played, and it wasn't a traditional out and back seaside links. So if that's what you're looking for, this is probably not going to be your favorite either. Because the cost is high, you're paying for an open rota experience on it, which is in immaculate shape, by the way. But there are a lot of seaside links courses you can play in Scotland for less than half of what we paid to play Carnoustie. You can even get some seaside links courses for under $100 US. So if you're wanting a good value trip, this probably is not going to be on your list of places to play. If you played Carnoustie, let us know what you thought and how tough you thought it was in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers, and we like to share your thoughts with other viewers out there who may or may not get to play Carnoustie at some point. And as always, remember, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe below so we can keep providing content for couples out there looking for great places for golf travel. And be sure to check back next week in our newest installment of our Scotland series as we drive up the coast about an hour to Royal Aberdeen Golf Course, and we'll rate and review it. Check out our other series on our channel, from Myrtle Beach to Bandon Dunes to Cabo San Lucas and Scottsdale Phoenix, Las Vegas, and islands all over the Caribbean island. So hopefully we'll see you out on the first tee someday. Hit 'em straight.